Hello, my friends, and welcome to the channel. I am Nicole, and I live in India. And today I'm going to be watching a video for the Foreign Affairs Minister, Jaishankar, breaking down exactly what a second presidency with Trump means for India. Now, I am American, although I've been in India now almost 19 years, so this is my country, right? I am looking forward to seeing what Jay Shankar thinks about a second Trump presidency. I think he might have some good things to say. Let's go ahead and see what he thinks. And if you haven't already, give me your like, give me your subscribe, and let's go.
I am the foreign minister, so it would be remiss of me not to speak a little bit about the world. And as you say, I do believe something happened yesterday.
So I think this was done a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and that he's referring to then the election in the US. A little thing was done yesterday.
Yes. I think probably, to my mind, 4 or 5 important consequences for the relationship and for the business aspect of the relationship. One, there was already a reordering of supply chains which was taking place. It is very likely that in view of the election results yesterday in the US, that this would accelerate. I'd be very candid with you. I mean, some of it would certainly be somewhat disruptive, but we in India perceive it as an opportunity because having kind of missed the manufacturing bus in the 1990s, early 2000s, we do think that this reordering of supply chain gives us a sort of second bite of the apple, and maybe this time around, starting with Apple, we are doing better than we were doing earlier.
I love the fact that he addresses this, that there is going to be more business, hopefully, or more manufacturing coming to India. Apple has decided to develop chips here. I really think that's an opportunity for India, moving the manufacturing that the US does in China and a lot of other countries that are there also, moving it to India and building up the industry here. Fabulous for India.
Second, there will be, in a way, more geopolitical hedging. What will inevitably happen as a consequence of policies which we can, at least those parts of it we can safely predict, will be many more of us would be seeking more relationships to keep, life stable. The third pertains to the digital side, and the digital side now pretty much covers everything. And what has happened, what has been happening and will continue to intensify is issues about in a way of trust and what accompanies the digital aspect of a product or a service or a technology, I think will come under greater scrutiny. And it will reflect itself in different fields. I mean, we've seen that already in semiconductors, where there's a very conscious attempt at diversification of production, and the drive towards AI will further accelerate this. Digital payment platforms, for example, would become, in a sense, more valuable, but also, which platform to use with whom becomes an important question. A fourth one, to my mind, is mobility of talent and skills, because even as there is a re-globalization or reworking of the current architecture, apart from the technology changes, I think the demographic unevenness of the world is beginning to bite us. That there would be economies where the demand would be high, the talents may not be plentiful, it could be different in other places. And what will happen, in a sense, is already happening. And I can, give you some very interesting numbers here. Is we will be moving, my guess is perhaps in the next few years, to a much more integrated global workplace. That many countries, and it'll be, to my mind, even a United States under Donald Trump, will make a distinction in immigration and mobility. That for them, economically justified mobility will have to be fostered, while those where the economic value is less or negative will have to be managed. So this is going to be, I mean, in fact, I tell my colleagues in foreign policy, I actually think for us, at least in India, it's going to be one of the top three priorities. That how do you create and manage and optimize a global workplace?
I love that he talks about this. A global workplace would, I think, bring so much to India. Not really talking about the US, but in India, we do not have any type of global worker, remote worker, online worker type of a visa situation, and or visa availability. And I know that there are so many people that would love to come and work here remotely. And I think that there are a lot of other countries that have already started this. I know Bali and Indonesia, I think they have one. There are other, other countries out there. We should open it up. We should get those travelers here. We should get their money and their investment and the opportunity. And giving them the opportunity to get a work visa here, I think, would be amazing. In regards to having a Trump-led U.S., he is known for, cutting immigration, and it was under Trump's presidency 4 years ago, or more than 4 years ago now, that these immigration changes that he made now made the ability to get certain types of visas in the U.S. very, very difficult, and green cards now take 1,000,000 years to process. They also make it very difficult to get tourist visas. They even changed some things for U.S. citizens, so they made it very difficult for us to even try to get a social security card number that had been missed for an application and that I couldn't find. They've made it difficult for both citizens and non-citizens in regards to different things that like living outside of India, or trying to immigrate, living outside of the US and trying to immigrate to the US. So there's things there. I'm not sure. There was a video that I reacted to regarding Trump and his immigration policies and how they could affect India. I'll link it here if you want to watch it. It was a really interesting video. Let's go ahead and continue to see what Dr. Jaishankar thinks.
And now the global workplace doesn't mean that the talent alone has to move. Businesses can move as well. We've already seen in the last few years, right now by the last count, we have about 1,800 global capability centers in India, which between them generate about $150 billion worth of exports. So we see this trend intensify, because the more technology-driven, more digital era is going to require a certain concentration and access to skills and talent.
Yep.
So whether
we have the people, we have the educated skill set, they have the education, we have the numbers. It's only going to grow here.
Talent goes to the business, or the business goes to the talent. I mean, that's a decision which corporates will be making. And finally, we do think that, again, politics notwithstanding, the world will be greener. That that while the pace of the greening of the economy may vary, definitely, if one looks today, I mean, we are certainly taking a big bet on green hydrogen, on green ammonia. We are thinking of green shipping corridors. Electric mobility is already upon us.
Well, I have to agree. I mean, I think there are many countries that are dedicated to making things more green. Will America be one with Trump as a president? I disagree with that. I think America will slide back, but I think countries like India are progressing forward and they're making those commitments to be more green and to innovate and things to find better ways and to be better. And I think that is fabulous.
We are looking at biodiesel. In fact, that's something we are pushing very strongly at sustainable aviation fuel. So that whole world is green steel. I mean, these are going to come. Politics or no politics, it may come faster. It may come in some countries more than other countries, but it will actually not stop as a global trend. So these, to my mind, would be the geopolitical factors we have to contend with, and which our relationship. Now we can either sit back and watch it, resist it in some cases, or leverage it in many cases. I mean, that choice is up to us. We as relationship managers, all of you as enterprises with a stake in it. So that's the broad picture. One last word. As I said, it helps when you are re-elected. It helps even more when you're re-elected twice. We've got off to a fast start. We've done less than 150 days of the third term. But even in this period, we have made we've taken some very big calls. Among the calls which might be of interest to you, one is to set up 12 major industrial zones across India, with a view to attracting global manufacturing and promoting domestic manufacturing. Secondly, to double down on the infrastructure spending, because the infrastructure investments are still primarily driven by government spending. So we will continue to do that, and we hope to see a greater private sector involvement there. And we intend to connect that to the zones in question. Three, a big focus on human resources development, on skills. We are encouraging corporates to do more internship. There's a kind of a Prime Minister's internship scheme which we have announced for promote stronger rural growth, because again, historically that's been the laggard sector. That's changing now. So as the agrarian economy really sort of gets better value for its production, we are seeing actually the gaps between industrial growth and rural growth narrow in comparison to the past. And finally, as I said, prepare for this different world which we are looking at, a world of AI, a world of EV, a world of really greener services and greener products. So that's really the picture which I want to present to you.
So I think he covered a bit about how a Trump presidency could impact globally, not just India. And then he also then went into some of the things that I think the BJP Modi government is focusing on in terms of bringing up, for India. Infrastructure development and things in India have a long ways to go. They have gotten so much better over the past, almost 19 years that I've lived here. Cities are bigger, but there needs to be better planning. There needs to be better spending, and we need to have cities built for the number of people that are coming here. So it's great to see these initiatives. It was really good to hear him. I love watching him. He is really just a fabulous voice for India, and he He knows what he's talking about. So if you like the reaction, please give a like, please give a subscribe. And as always, I love you and bye-bye.